As you can see, let me grab my wand here, my selenite wand. As you can see, there's light around his head. So it's telling us that you're wanting more enlightenment. You're wanting more, almost, I'm hearing proof. Maybe proof to yourself that possibly a new venture or a new idea has sustainability and is valid. But you're really wanting to gain more insight. So that's, to me, how sort of the mid-month starts off in April for you. I'm just looking at everything on this. The symmetry of here that we have the leaves hanging down. It just seems so, I don't know. I've never noticed that before about the Hanged Man. The way he has his arms out and the branches out. So he has his arms behind his back, actually. But you're wanting to gain more perspective. I feel that you do hear of a message that gives you some mental clarity, or you gain mental clarity through this Hanged Man. Again, this oftentimes is something, a piece of news we find out about, and I don't mean news on the, watching the news for you personally, Gemini. And this, remember, is for Gemini, this video, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If these messages do not resonate, watch your Moon and Rising side. I always say that anyway, just to get a bigger picture of things. But I do feel like you're going to hear something, and that's beneficial to you. I think this Page of Swords is wanting to cut through all the red tape, the BS, and really get to the point. And that may be you. You're just wanting to say, okay, plant my feet firmly on the ground. I'm going to be open, but I want to get to the truth. I want to get to where I need to be so that I can develop myself, develop my career, develop my home life, develop my relationships. Yeah, because it feels like this Page of Swords is turned towards him. It's like, no more. By the end of April, I think you're deliberating, this Mercury retrograde feeling is not going to be there as much. You will have done your thinking, Gemini. So let's see what comes up for the first 2 weeks of May. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands here and the Page Seven of Swords. The Ten of Wands indicates to me wanting to alleviate burdens so that you can go into an easier place, a place that's less stressful, a place that is less burdensome. You want to let go of some of the tasks that you do at your work, or some of the nitty-gritty work that you're not so fond of, and you really want to do what your talents and abilities are. So whatever it is that you're not enjoying at your job, or it can indicate home, but the wands of course are usually about our work. Whatever you're not enjoying, I feel like you just kind of want to, I'm feeling my shoulders want to relax. And if any of you all have upper neck or shoulder or back pain, I'm sort of feeling that with this particular card for you. So, he's moving here towards this wonderful house. He's going to let the burdens drop one by one by one. So it's going to take you're really slicing through in order to do that, and just saying, okay, I don't need to be doing this anymore. I don't need to be filling out all this paperwork. Maybe I can what's the word I want to say? Hand it over to someone else. Hire someone. Maybe an assistant is what you need. Maybe someone to help clean your house. And that's not just it. It's you want to lighten the load. And however that makes sense to you. Now, beside this guy who's walking towards his better place, then we have the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords indicates to me someone who is stealing mental clarity, stealing away with possibly your thoughts and ideas. Now this is another sword sign, so this does represent air. Brings in Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but I'm not just talking about this. Someone is one of them, but it is about air, our mental thoughts. You know, he's taking off with the 5 swords and he's leaving 2. So, you know, I would just say be cautious. Be cautious of others that you feel are not in alignment with your highest purpose, your goals, what you're wanting to create with your goals. You know, he seems happy that, I've gotten 5 of them. There's 2 left, but at least I stole away with 5. So, you know, it could be you. Let's see. I'm going to ask my pendulum if this is you, Gemini. This 7 of Swords. Is this 7 of Swords, Gemini? For most of you, I don't think so. I think this 7 of Swords is someone else. Now, for you, if you feel like you're getting away with something, then, well, you know, maybe you need a little bit of relief. But I feel like this is someone else who just kind of watch your ideas and where they're going, and who knows about what you're planning and you're creating. Because some people are supportive of us and other people are not. So leave in the comments below, who might this 7 of Swords be? Okay, so the energies between the 2 months is the 5 of Cups. So this is, the cups are about our heart and our emotions, and the 5 is about loss, the feeling of loss. You know, maybe you're not in a relationship any longer, but more than that, it's been a while since this has happened, this relationship or the loss of someone through, you know, they've passed away, or things just didn't go right in your business, you know, because he's focusing on these 3 cups that are down, and that's the negative side of life. That's the Who Done Me Wrong song. You know, that's focusing on who done me wrong. There's 2 cups behind him. If you just turn around and look at what he is grateful for, or she is grateful for, then that would make a huge difference. So you have some work ahead of you, Gemini, and I don't mean this type of burdensome work, but letting go of feelings or negative beliefs that just don't serve you any longer, serve your inner strength, your inner power. You're recreating yourself, Gemini, for sure. Okay, let me take a look at the crystal ball and see what this brings in for Gemini. All right, I'm looking for any visual or a totem animal. Okay, I'm seeing a cat. This is a rather large black cat. So you could say that this is a house cat. It could also, let's just say it could also be a panther, right? Am I correct on that? Are panthers black? I believe they are. So you may want to look up what panther, you know, the different personality, the traits, how they work with other species and other animals, and see if something about that really helps motivate you. I am seeing in this crystal someone that feels like they're hiding themselves. They're caped. It's not a black cape. It's white color, but I do feel like it could be possibly this person can be deceitful. So again, just being aware of who's around you and who you're sharing your information with. Okay, that's an interesting. Okay, that's an interesting visual. So part of it looks like, to me, it's like a medal, or an award or medal that hangs on possibly a military suit, a military uniform rather. So any of you all that possibly are old enough to have been in the military, or your father or your grandfather, it might be that they're, even if they've passed on, that they're around you. Getting a lot of light blue, Gemini. Wow. Okay, so that's the throat chakra, right? That's about communication, and that is you. It is a beautiful light blue. So that is beautiful. Let me see if there's a message around that, or if it's just, there's so much unique specialties in ways that you communicate with others. I feel like you're even going to expand that. Your wordage is going to become richer. Let me turn this up. Your vocabulary, possibly a little bit more colorful in how you speak. But yeah, I kind of feel like you're changing, not your lifestyle, but part of how you communicate, which is a big part of what we do. Wow. Okay. So the last visual I saw was someone, I don't know if any of you all, and you may not know, there's a show on TV that talks about how to find our ancestors from a long time ago. Ancestry.com can do that. But I feel like someone has a relative, and I hate to say this, someone has a relative that was hung. So, this will pertain to one or two, or I don't know how many of you, but I'm just saying that this person was persecuted for possibly just, robbery or stealing a horse, but it was a long time ago. So anyway, or if you're reading any books or literature about that type of thing, then that could be coming up as well. Okay. Let me go back to the communication, though. That's really going to be a lot of how you're changing your way, and it could be communicating through, YouTube, Facebook. What else is out there? All kinds of social media. And so I feel like you're just communicating differently. All right, let's see. Let's add up the numbers. We have 12, 13. 5 is 18. 28. And 7 is what? 35, right? 3 and 5 is 8. 8 is about abundance, or it's also about the infinity sign if you look at it horizontally. So maybe the universe wanting you to see your infinite ways, your spiritual infinite ways, how you can create the most, manifest the most with what you have in life. And I know that the 8 in the major arcana is the strength card. So the universe is saying, we're giving you strength. We want you to have strength to mull through this and to push forward, because you're going to make a lot of changes. Some of you are going to make a lot of changes in your life that I feel like the next 3, 4, 5 months are really going to be like a wow. You're going to be happy that you got it here. You put your burdens down. This will be something to deal with. But you're going to get it that you are, like I said, say the wow word when it looks like a rosier picture for some of you.